Super Draco here, and we're back for episode 3 of the LEGO Creator 3-in-1 Shark, part 3, the squid, or at least I'm assuming it's a squid. And I just noticed that yellow outline around that arrow. I could remake that picture, or I could just leave it in and see if anyone notices. Well, I just told you, but we'll see what happens. Anyhow, so we're back for the third in this 3-in-1 build, even though it's a lie, because this is a 4-in-1 set, because there's actually a fourth build. And so we're going to get to that. So this one, we're building, well, I believe it's a squid, because it has the two long feeding tentacles, which says it's not an octopus. Even though the head shape is somewhere in the middle between a squid and an octopus. It's not a cuttlefish because it doesn't have the big fins that let it hover. So yeah, I'm just going to stick with squid until somebody corrects me. So anyway, so we continue this build. So I hadn't seen how the last one performed because I'm recording this before it went live. So it's even shorter than the last one, so welcome to Ramble City. It's adjacent to Suplex City. Haha, wrestling meme. Anyway, so I hope everybody's doing well. While that's going, let's look at the analytics again. So as we look at the overview, got 100, my latest video, which was Ecto 1, got 142 views. Well, not Ecto 1, but I got a total of 142 views. The preview 115, Ecto 1 22. So either way, we're doing good. And it's nice to see my feed coming back to life. And I'm also glad to be making content again. Because when it comes to YouTube, there's a simple thing with me. If it ever stops being fun, that's when I'm going to stop. Is that kind of selfish? Maybe, but you know, unless we ever reach the monetization threshold, selfish it is. Alright, so you know, nothing new going on in my world. Just a couple days off, dedicating them to playing Armored Core and accomplishing nothing other than working on the story. I said this a while back and I never got to follow up on it. Anyone who's interested, let me put it in the comments. Like I said, I'm thinking of starting a fan fiction account. And I'm not going to put fan fiction on there. I'm just thinking of putting regular stories and stuff. Because, you know, something I do is I like to write. You know, mainly doing fantasy and superhero type stories. The superhero one, there's an interesting story behind it. It was loosely based on an RPG, a text RPG myself and some friends made, or played a long time ago. Anyway, so, you know, if you're interested, put it down in the comments. Otherwise, I'll probably still do it eventually. It's just, I attribute this to, if I had to call it anything, ego and also OCD, in that I don't like the idea of posting individual pieces of a story that's not complete. But like I said, I'm pretty sure that's a mix of ego and OCD. But yeah, so if and when I do that, I'll probably post a link or something. So the squid build. So far, my only complaint is the beak, because squid have a very bird-like beak, and that's really the only solid. Well, squid actually have some actually have a bone in their mantle, which gives them that distinct shape, versus an octopus, which doesn't have that bone. And cuttlefish have the same bone, which those are harvested to make cuttle bones for that people used to give birds to gnaw on. But I don't like that the teeth are supposed to represent the beak, but that's a nitpick on my end, just because Mr. Educated College Man doesn't like liberties taken with plastic brick toys. But all in all, this is a really good use of parts and shaping. And I like the fact that they're combining the eyepiece and then the clear, yellowish green clear dishes that again, for the shark, they were in the treasure chest, I think is some kind of crystal plate or something. But combining the eyes with actually makes a unique eye, which in essence is something that I appreciate, in that all three of the main builds had a unique way of building the eyes. Now, having said all that, this set again is a lie, because there's a fourth build, and we're going to cover that in the episode, because next up's the next Ecto 1 video, and then after that will be the next, the last installment of this. So, I was looking over my stuff, and I have an idea for a Transformer review I might film, because I might go ahead and review Armada Prime from the Legacy line, because that's a really good figure. And since it's new and relevant, some people might be interested in seeing that. Beyond that, I could always show off some of my customs, because I have a custom Onyx Prime, a custom Nexus Prime, and although they're not custom, but I also have a figure of Solus Prime and a figure of Prima. The next custom I'm thinking about doing is Alchemist Prime, because I actually already have a figure in mind to customize him into, and the paint job will be, actually it'll be relatively simple. But I might show that off later. Again, that's going to take money, which is still in short supply. Like Armada Prime, I didn't even pay for that. That was a gift. That was basically I got some cash for my birthday, because my mom never forgets my birthday, and I use that to pay for it. And then I did buy something because I had a huge discount on Show Z, and I'll review that when it gets here. Which that I'm expecting to be cool. But I'm not going to give any spoilers on that yet. So anyway, speaking of Transformers, I saw the first wave of Legacy United unveiled. Let me pull it up, actually. We can discuss that while I'm building. Because the animated Optimus Prime and the animated Bumblebee look pretty good. I'm absolutely going to buy the Leader Tiger Hawk. I don't care what I have to do to budget for it. Because I had the original Tiger Hawk and it broke. Was this reveal really this long ago? You know, Rescue Bot Chase, I'm not a big fan of. The mold looks like it'll be good for Lockdown. The Windblade I might buy, I don't know. Windblade, I have a love-hate with every Windblade figure they've ever made. Because I think the very first one, the robot mode looked pretty good, but it couldn't stand, and it needed the Toy Hacks repro labels to look better. Let's see, the big reveals were the Titan for Legacy United is going to be Tidal Wave, and the Commander is going to be Magmatron, which both of them I will buy. Because Tidal Wave, well, I actually have the Legacy Armada Megatron. And Tidal Wave, the box art shows Armada Megatron with his power-up mode from Tidal Wave. So that makes me think that the smaller figure that they sometimes include with a Titan will be the figure that combines with Megatron. But just having Tidal Wave it represented in the proper size, because he was always depicted as enormous, is something I want. Magmatron is a bit of an interesting story, because most people, unless you know about Japanese Beast Wars, or you just randomly bought that toy that came out for Beast Machines, never heard of Magmatron. And basically, if I understand the story right, I guess he was the big bad sent by Tripredacus in the Beast Wars 2 sequel series. I'm not super familiar with any of that. I just know who Magmatron is because he's a he's not a duocon. I guess you'd call him a triocon, because he's made up of some kind of plesiosaur, some kind of pterosaur, and a Giganotosaurus, which, thanks to the last Jurassic Park movie, or Jurassic World movie, is been popularized, showing the largest carnivorous dinosaur we've ever seen. But yeah, those three combine into his robot mode, and they also combine into like a weird dinosaur centaur thing. It's weird, but the kind of weird I can kind of get behind. So yeah, other than that, you know, the animated stuff looks good, but it doesn't look like my cup of tea. Rescue Bot Chase, pass. The weird Rock Lord inspired vehicle, maybe, but the only definitive must-have for me is going to be Thundertron. Just because I love, you know, I just love these weird random motifs. And Thundertron, you know, pirate-themed transformer of his own, running his own sub-faction, appeals to me in most levels. And the fact that you can still take one of his feet off and he has a peg leg, because I just find the visual of that kind of would be hilarious. That, you know, he's a lion, and when it transforms, one of his feet falls off to reveal the peg leg in robot mode. It makes no sense, but I think it'd be a hilarious visual. But yeah, and then I might get the core class Energon Megatron just for the heck of it. Tasmanian Kid I don't really care about. And then the box art shows, if you look at the big artwork on Transformers stuff that comes out, if you look at the whole thing, they often will give you hints to what's coming. And real quick, I'm going to see if I can pull that before we run out of time. And I think I'm out of time, so yeah, we got about a minute and 15 minutes or so, or a minute and 15 seconds. But so we'll save that for another video, because I got one more of these coming up we can talk about in depth. Because I need to get the Titan Nemesis, because she looks like a really cool thing, and since I have the art, I want the Nemesis, because Since in the future I'm going to do dioramas, I could do a heck of a diorama with the two of them. And so we come to the end of this bizarre squid-like creature that has 6 arms instead of 10. Which, that's where the confusion is, because it can't even be an octopus because it only has 6 arms and not 8. But 2 of them are clearly feeding tentacles, which makes me lean in on Squid. If I had to complain, I just wish that you could close up the tentacles a little more. The middle tentacles. But otherwise, cool, interesting. Thanks for watching. See you for the next one. Also, an insane amount of parts left over.